I got scammed trying to buy a 1989 Toyota Corolla. So I'm just going to tell you about that because I think that was fucking hilarious, and low key embarrassing. So back in 2023, I was trying to buy a car, and I've always fucked with old cars. I don't really like new cars. Also, I could not afford one, so I just went to Facebook Marketplace like one would do. So I started searching for cars and I found this Toyota Corolla, which was in decent condition. It seemed fine. And well, the only problem is that I had never had experience or any sort of nothing with, buying a car. So I asked my uncle for help, which I thought was someone I could trust because he's bought a shit ton of cars through Facebook Marketplace. So, I asked him, "Hey, I'm trying to buy a car. Would you help me to, talk to the people and make sure it's legit, it's not like a scam or anything?" Because unfortunately, and I think this applies for everywhere in the world because Facebook fucking sucks. When you try to buy something, it's very likely that you're going to get scammed, at least where I live. So, I was trying to get some sort of person who could be my compass to make sure that I would not just fall for a scam. So, I asked my uncle and I told him about this car that I found, which was nice and relatively cheap. And he texted he texted the person who was selling the car, which was a guy. Maybe he was, I don't know, maybe in his mid 30s. This fucking ugly bastard. And but at first everything seemed fine. He did not hesitate to send pictures. He had a bunch of pictures of the car. He even showed me, well, I could see the license plate on most pictures, which was good because that mean I could just go into the legal page where you can check the car and see if it has something weird or sketchy going on with it. And everything seemed fine so far. So we went to meet the guy and check the car out, and that was on a Wednesday. So we went there on a Wednesday. We met at a park. Um, and everything seemed really cool. I really liked the car and it was in pretty decent condition. And I think there's going to be a shit ton of noise in the background, so I'm sorry about that, but whatever. So yeah, I like the car and I wanted to buy it, but there was a problem. I didn't have my ID on me, and you cannot buy a car without your fucking ID because you need to go to the bank and they're going to ask you for your ID. The lawyer is going to ask you for your ID, so I simply couldn't. And I would be able to retrieve my ID back because I left it at my boyfriend's place, so I would be able to get it back on Saturday. So I told the guy, we told the guy, would you be okay with waiting until Saturday so we can do the sale? And he was like, there's people who are going to want to buy the car right now and they're probably going to have the money and their IDs with them. So they're going to be able to buy the car right now. So if somebody else comes and they want the car, I'm going to sell it. And I was like, no, oh goodness, don't do that. I want the car. And I asked my uncle, I pushed him aside a little to ask him, just between us two, like, what could we do in this case? How can we arrange something, I guess? And he told me maybe you could give him, I don't know how this is called, but it has a name. I just don't know how it's called, but um giving the person a part of the money, it's called being fucking stupid in this case. Giving the person a part of the money, so the thing is kind of already yours but not yours yet. Like the person has to save the thing that they're selling to you because you've already given them money, whatever. And I was like, you know what, hell yeah, let's do that. And how much am I supposed to give the guy? I was thinking $100 because the car was, I don't know how much it was, but it was way less than $3,000. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But yeah, I was like thinking maybe $100. But then my uncle said, actually, you could give him like 400. $400? Okay, I mean, if you say so, I'm going to trust you because why the fuck would I not? Why the fuck would I not trust you? So I gave him $400 to the guy that was selling the car, and he pulled a fucking notebook from his car and started writing some kind of signed thing, paper, whatever you call it, stating that whatever the fuck his name was, ID, whatever the fuck his ID was, I'm going to sell the car to Naomi. And this is her ID, and this is how much she's given me so far, and this is for how much I'm selling the car, and this is the day that we're going to do the shit, whatever the fuck the thing was. It was supposed to be like a legal thing, okay? How I'm using the term legal very loosely here for obvious reasons, but whatever. So I gave him the money through a transaction, and then we each went to our homes, and I was pretty excited because I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have my first car. Um, and I told my boyfriend, and he was able to pick up on it so quickly, and he was like, that's fucking weird. That's fucking sketchy. You're about to get fucking scammed. And I was like, you're a fucking hater. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But, well, we know how it went, but whatever. I didn't listen to him. Anyways, there was nothing I could do at this point because the guy already had the money, so I couldn't do anything anymore. Not about that. Um, so we were supposed to meet on Saturday. So fast forward to Thursday. The guy arrived to my house because he wanted to give me a more kind of legal paper. It was like the same paper that he wrote the day that we saw the car for the first time, but legally, more legal, signed by a lawyer. Again, using the terms legal and lawyer very loosely here because that fucking letter was so fucking sketchy. I know about letters. I know about legal documents because I've studied that for a couple of years when I was back in high school. I know how they look, and that shit was nowhere fucking close to be formal or legal or nothing. I still fucking signed it because I'm fucking stupid, and the problem with that is that even though it was not very convincing, I mean it was kind of valid because the paper said that I was acknowledging that if for some reason the sale didn't conclude, meaning that if for some reason I decided to not buy the car or proceed with the purchase, he was not going to give me the money back. And I should have, put on my thinking caps and be like, that's sketchy because why would you do that? Like, if I were to sell something and the person said, like, you know what, I cannot buy it anymore, I wouldn't have any issues giving them the money back, but whatever, too late. Um, so yeah, I signed the stuff, and then he dropped this fucking bomb. He was not the owner, and the owner was actually fucking far, and he would not be able to come in time to be able to do the legal process to sell the car. And here's the problem: if I don't have, or if the person who's selling the car, meaning the owner, does not sign the papers that you have to sign when you buy the car, it doesn't matter if you give the person the money. It doesn't matter if you have a nice fancy letter saying that the car is yours. That does not mean jack shit because the only thing that legally actually legally uh, prove that the car is yours is the legal shit that an actual lawyer does, which was not obviously was not being done in this case. So I mean, the problem with this is that if I gave him the money, he could very well report the card as stolen, and I could get in legal trouble for this. Clearly, because they would think that I fucking stole the car. I didn't know this. I mean, I did know that, but I didn't give a fuck. So I just signed it anyways, and the guy said all of this. And I was like, you know what? That's cool. Let's just meet on Saturday. Let's hope that the owner, because he said, you know what? The owner is on a work trip and he may not be able to come in time, but let's see. Maybe he will. And I was like, so fucking naive because I was wholeheartedly thinking and hoping with my entire soul that the owner would actually show up because they were good people, not fucking scammers. So fucking naive, I know. Um, but yeah, fast forward to Friday, the day before the legal shit was supposed to be happening. This guy calls me and starts saying weird stuff about that the owner is not going to be there and that he needs to get out the car out of his home like, oh, hold on a second, as soon as possible for whatever fucking stupid reason he was giving me. um and yeah, and I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean the owner is not going to come? And what do you mean you need to sell the car right now? And why do you even have the car if it's not yours? But whatever. And he started pressuring me into giving him the money right there and then, and then he would come and deliver the car to my house because he had my fucking address. Um, and I was like, hold the fuck up, because again, it doesn't matter if I gave him the money. It doesn't matter if there's bank movements to prove that I gave him the money and that he received the money. That does not mean jack shit. The car was not mine, so I couldn't do that. I would get in legal trouble, and also I didn't want to fucking lose the money. Clearly, um, so I just felt overwhelmed and I hung up, and then I told my uncle, and then he called the guy and they started fighting via phone and they insulted each other, and I don't know what the fuck happened after that, but yeah, I clearly never got the fucking $400 back, and I never got the car, and yeah, that's how I fucking got scammed. It was hilarious because and the story doesn't end here. There's a little post credits ending scene or whatever. A couple months after that, I kept looking because I still had, the money left to buy a car, and I found another car, and I was able to actually buy the car. I did not get scammed. So when I was waiting in the bank, for, I don't know what the fuck what I was waiting for, but I was at the bank. Um, I saw the guy. Well, the guy saw me and he started calling me and saying, "Hey, if you're still looking for a car, I have this other car, which was another Toyota Corolla, but it was a different color or something. And if you still want it, I mean, we can arrange something, and I could still, give you like, I don't know how you say this, like, take as a payment, upfront payment, the $400 that I had given him." And I was like, oh my god, how fucking stupid do you think I am? Like, Jesus Christ, he was trying to fucking scam me again because that car was not his either. So I don't know. Then I didn't do this. I don't know why, but then I thought maybe I should check his profile to see what the fuck is going on. And I saw that he was selling four different cars and none of them were his. They all were in under different people's names, and you can search up people just with their names, and none of them were around of from the area that we were in. So that was weird. It was like he was getting cars from different states, from different people to sell them, which was clearly fucking sketchy and clearly a fucking shitty scammer. Um, so yeah, that's how I got scammed. Um, and now the guy tried to fucking scam me again. And yeah, just because I wanted the fucking Toyota Corolla. That's it, I guess.